You have been living under a lie so deep that it has stolen years of your life without you even noticing. You have been told that your mind is trapped inside your skull, that it is nothing more than a machine responding to the outside world. But here is the terrifying truth. That belief has kept you small. That belief has kept you powerless. And if you continue to hold on to it, you will waste the one chance you have to rewrite your destiny. Right now, as you hear these words, your mind is not inside your head. It is extending beyond your body, beyond your environment, beyond time itself. This is not philosophy. This is not a comforting metaphor. This is science. Quantum physics has proven again and again that particles can influence each other instantly across vast distances with no physical connection. Your consciousness works the same way. It is not reacting to life. It is creating life. Think about what that means. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you replay, every expectation you hold, these are not private. They are signals. Signals collapsing infinite possibilities into the limited version of reality you keep living. And here is the danger. Most people never wake up to this truth. They remain stuck in the loop, thinking they are reacting to life, when in reality, they are only reacting to their own unconscious projection. They collapse the same painful reality again and again until the end. But you are hearing this message for a reason. This is your warning. If you ignore it, nothing will change. If you dismiss it, you will keep living the same life year after year. But if you pay attention now, if you claim your power now, you can break the loop and create the reality that has been waiting for you all along. The choice must be made in this very moment. Ask yourself, have you ever felt trapped in a cycle that never seems to end? Waking up every day with the same struggles, facing the same obstacles, repeating the same frustrations no matter how hard you try to escape them. That is not coincidence. That is the prison of unconscious creation. Neuroscience has confirmed it. Your brain is not recording the outside world like a camera. It is predicting. It is simulating. It builds an internal model based on your memories, your emotions, your beliefs. And then it presents that model back to you as reality. You do not see the world as it is. You see the world as you expect it to be. That means the reality you think is happening to you is in truth reflection of your inner programming. Imagine a veteran from Texas. After returning from war, every sound of fireworks, every sudden movement, triggered him into panic. For years, he believed danger was everywhere. But therapy revealed something crucial. His brain was predicting threats that no longer existed. His suffering was not from the outside world. It was from an internal simulation. When he understood this, his healing began. His reality shifted the moment he saw that the battlefield was no longer outside of him. It was inside his own mind. This is why clinging to the old belief is so dangerous. If you continue to think reality is fixed, you will remain a prisoner of your past. You will repeat the same story endlessly. You will waste the chance to awaken the creative power that has always been within you. But here is the breakthrough. Once you realize your mind is not confined to your brain, you stop being a victim. You stop being a prisoner of circumstances. You step into the role of the creator. Because every thought, every emotion, every belief is a signal you broadcast into the quantum field. And the field responds. It must respond. It collapses possibilities into your lived experience. This is the key you have been searching for. The truth you were never told. You are not reacting to the world. You are shaping it. You are not a passive observer. You are a participant in creation. And the reality you are experiencing right now is not inevitable. It is a choice. So here's the question you must face. If your mind is already influencing your life in every moment, how will you choose to use it now? Will you continue to let unconscious patterns dictate your future? Or will you take back the power that has always been yours? Do not wait. Do not delay. Every moment you hesitate is another moment collapsing the same old reality. Right here, right now, you can choose to awaken. You can choose to step out of the loop. You can choose to see through the illusion of limitation. If you are ready to lift the veil, if you are ready to declare your awakening, hit the like button right now. That action is not just for me. It is for you. It is a signal to yourself and to the universe that you are ready to step into the truth. So I ask you again, what will happen if you stop merely reacting and start truly creating? What kind of world will unfold when you recognize your mind as the architect of reality? That is the question we will explore next. And the answer could change everything. The reality you are living is not imposed by fate. It is being controlled by the silent 95% of your subconscious. Stop and let that sink in. Almost everything you do, almost everything you feel, almost every choice you make is not a conscious decision. It is a program, a script written long ago by your childhood, by your environment, by experiences you barely remember. And yet, it is this hidden script that is running your life right now. Do you really believe you are free when 95% of your actions are automatic? Do you really think you are in control when the silent hand of your subconscious is pulling the strings behind the curtain? This is why so many people feel stuck. They think they are making new choices, but in truth, they are reliving the same story again and again. Science has revealed this hidden power. Psychoneuroimmunology has shown us that negative emotions and hidden beliefs do not just shape your mood. They shape your biology. They weaken your immune system. They rewire your cells. They make you sick. And yet, the same science shows something astonishing. When belief changes, the body changes. When faith and vision are installed deep in the subconscious, the body can heal. The mind can reprogram the cells of the body itself. Let me tell you a story. In California, there was a woman who lived in pain for 10 long years. Doctors called her illness chronic, untreatable, hopeless. She carried that sentence in her subconscious like a curse. Every day she woke up expecting pain, and every day her body delivered it. Then something shifted. She began to practice meditation. She learned to visualize herself whole. She began to feed her subconscious with new images, new beliefs, new commands. And slowly her body obeyed. The illness that ruled her life faded. Not because the world outside changed, but because her inner world was rewritten. This is the secret most people never discover. Your subconscious is not just storing memories. It is creating the framework of your destiny. It is the operating system of your life. If you ignore it, you will stay trapped in its old programs. You will relive the fears, the failures, the limitations that were planted years ago. But if you claim it, if you learn to master it, you can reprogram your entire future. Asterisk, so I ask you, how much of your suffering is really yours? And how much is the echo of a subconscious program you never chose? How many of your dreams have died because your subconscious whispered that they were impossible? How many times have you sabotaged yourself without even knowing why? This is not chance. This is programming. But here's the truth that can set you free. If the subconscious can be programmed once, it can be programmed again. The same way it learned fear, it can learn courage. The same way it learned sickness, it can learn health. The same way it learned lack, it can learn abundance. You are not condemned by fate. You are shaped by the programs you run, and you have the power to rewrite them. This is why awakening to your subconscious is so urgent. Because every day you delay, the old programs grow stronger. Every day you hesitate, you reinforce the same reality. You cannot afford to sleep through your life while the silent 95% dictates your destiny. So, hear this as a call to action. Write it down. Say it out loud. Declare it with conviction. Comment these words right now. I master my subconscious. This is not just a phrase. It is the first command you are giving to the silent part of your mind. It is the first step to breaking free from the loop. Imagine what becomes possible when you align your conscious intention with the subconscious that is already running your life. Imagine what happens when your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs all send the same signal into the quantum field. That is when reality bends. That is when healing happens. That is when miracles appear. So I leave you with this question. If 95% of your life is ruled by the subconscious, are you truly living your own life? Or are you simply repeating the old programs again and again? The answer to that question will determine everything that follows. You can completely break the old program with a quantum event, a moment where reality collapses to open new possibilities. Think about the weight of that statement. One single shift, one sudden break in the pattern, and everything you thought was impossible can rearrange itself in front of your eyes. Most people believe change must take years. They think transformation is slow, painful, and gradual. But what if that belief is the very thing that has kept them trapped? What if reality itself is waiting for just one spark, one conscious choice, to collapse into something entirely new? Quantum physics has revealed this mystery. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist at once. Every outcome, every future, every version of you is already there. But none of it becomes real until something chooses, until an observer collapses the wave of potential into a single reality. That observer is your consciousness, your awareness, your choice. You are not just watching the world. You are pulling worlds out of infinite potential. This is not theory. This is not a distant idea. This is science. Experiments in quantum mechanics prove that a particle exists as many possibilities at once until it is observed. Then the wave collapses into one reality. Your life works the same way. Every morning you wake up, you stand at the edge of infinite futures. And without even realizing it, your subconscious collapses the same one again and again. That is why you feel stuck. That is why nothing seems to change. But here is the secret. A quantum event can shatter the cycle. A moment where you make a choice so strong, so aligned, that the old program cannot continue. It collapses, and a new version of reality rushes in. Let me tell you a story. In New York, there was a businessman who lost everything. Failed partnerships, failed investments. Bankruptcy haunted him like a shadow. For years, he believed he was cursed. For years, he collapsed the same reality of loss because his mind expected it. But one day, he made a decision. He stopped fighting the outside world and turned inward. He began to change his emotional state. He practiced gratitude instead of despair. He envisioned opportunities instead of failure. And then something extraordinary happened. Within weeks, he was introduced to a partner who offered him $1 million deal. The opportunity came from nowhere, but in truth, it came from the field. It came because he collapsed a new possibility by shifting his inner world. Do you see it now? Reality did not change first. His consciousness did, and the field responded. That is the power of a quantum event. Ask yourself, how many times have you been one decision away from a completely different life? How many times have you felt the urge to choose differently, but stayed inside the cage of habit? How many more years will you collapse the same painful reality before you claim your right to something new? This is not about waiting for luck. This is about mastering alignment. Your focus, your belief, your emotion are the triggers. They are the levers that collapse infinite potential into the physical world. When you send out a new signal, When you choose from power instead of fear, reality must respond. And here is the urgency. Every moment you hesitate, you collapse the old program again. Every time you doubt, you reinforce the same reality. That is why most people never escape. They wait, they hope, they delay. And by doing so, they collapse the same world year after year. But you are not here to delay. You are not here to wait. You are here to break the cycle, to declare a new signal, to create a quantum event of your own dot. So I challenge you right now. Do not just listen. Act. Type the word quantum in the comments this moment. That single action is more than a gesture. It is a declaration. It is your first conscious signal to the field that you are ready to collapse a new possibility. Can you feel the weight of this choice? Can you sense the doors opening around you? This is your invitation to step into the unknown. This is your chance to watch reality itself bend in response to your decision dot. So the question remains, have you ever wondered why one small choice can change an entire life? That question is not just curiosity. It is the doorway to your destiny. And in the next step, we will go even deeper into why your signal, your frequency, is the most powerful creative force you already possess. The universe does not hear the words you speak. It only reflects the person you are being. Let that truth strike you with full force. You can say the affirmations. You can repeat the mantras. You can speak endless promises into the air. But if your being, your frequency, your state of existence does not match those words, the universe remains silent. It does not respond to what you cling. It responds to what you embody. Think about it. How many times have you said you wanted change? You wanted wealth. You wanted love. Yet deep inside you carried doubt, fear, insecurity. And what happened? Life reflected the doubt. Life echoed the fear. Life mirrored the insecurity. Because you were not sending a signal of truth. You were sending a signal of contradiction. Science has begun to prove what ancient wisdom has always known. When your thoughts and emotions synchronize, when your inner state is aligned, your brain enters alpha and theta waves. In that state, your subconscious becomes open, programmable, ready to absorb. That is when the signal you send becomes powerful. That is when the universe responds. Alignment is not about words. It is about frequency. There is a story that shows this with clarity. A young Latino creator in the United States tried for years to build an audience online. He copied trends. He imitated styles. He said all the right things, but nothing worked. His channel stayed invisible until one day he stopped pretending. He shared his real struggles, his failures, his raw truth. And within weeks, his videos exploded. Millions watched. Millions connected. Why? Because authenticity carries a frequency that cannot be faked. He stopped talking about who he wanted to be and started being it. The universe reflected the signal back with abundance. Do you see the pattern? You are not rewarded for pretending. You are rewarded for alignment. The universe is not listening to your words. It is scanning your frequency. And your frequency is not built by what you say. It is built by what you consistently embody. So ask yourself now, what signal are you sending? What does your energy say about who you are? Because no matter what you post, no matter what you tell others, the signal never lies. You can deceive people, but you cannot deceive the field. This is where urgency comes in. Every moment you continue living out of alignment, you reinforce a false signal. Every time you say you want something but vibrate doubt, you collapse another reality of lack. Every time you claim love but radiate fear, you collapse another reality of loneliness. And it never ends until you decide to live as the signal itself. You must feel it. You must breathe it. You must become it before it arrives. The frequency precedes the manifestation. Always dot, so I am asking you to take action now. Declare it in a way that the subconscious cannot ignore. Write it in the comments right now. I choose to live as the signal. Do not just type the words. Feel them. Let them become your declaration. That single act is more than engagement. It is the first broadcast of a new frequency. Can you sense the power in this shift? Can you feel the truth that when you embody authenticity, when you step into your higher self, the universe has no choice but to mirror it back. Remember, you are not waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle. You are not waiting for life to deliver proof. You are the proof. And when you live as the signal, life bends to match you. So I leave you with this question. If the universe only reflects who you are being, what signal are you truly broadcasting right now? And in the next step, we will dive even deeper into how facing your fears is not a weakness, but a doorway to the higher frequencies you have been searching for. Fear is not the enemy. It is the sign that you are standing before the doorway of change. Feel the weight of those words. Everything you have been taught told you to run from fear, to avoid it, to silence it, to push it down. But what if fear was never the wall? What if fear was the signal? The alarm bell that you are about to step into a new version of yourself. Think about your own life. How many times has fear stopped you? How many opportunities have slipped away because the voice of fear told you to stay safe, to stay small, to wait for a better time? And how many years have passed while you waited? Fear was not punishing you. Fear was inviting you to move into the unknown where your true power lives. Science confirms this hidden truth. Psychoneuroimmunology has revealed that long-term stress, long-term fear, long-term anxiety do not just disturb the mind. They alter the body. They change the expression of your genes. They weaken your health. They lower your vitality. But here is the miracle. When the state shifts, the biology shifts. When positive emotions like courage and gratitude replace fear, the body begins to heal. Genes can switch back on. Life force returns. Fear shows you the door, but positive choice is the key that opens it. Let me tell you a story. In Boston, there was a student drowning in depression. Every morning, he woke with dread. Every night, he fell asleep with hopelessness. Fear and darkness consumed him. But instead of fighting fear, he made a new choice. He created a small ritual. Each morning, before his thoughts could spiral, he walked outside, breathed deep, and wrote one thing he was grateful for. At first, it felt meaningless. At first, it felt false. But day after day, his state began to change. The fear that once paralyzed him began to fuel him. He turned that energy into art, into writing, into music. What was once despair became creativity. What was once paralysis became momentum. Fear was never the enemy. It was the invitation. So I ask you, what if the fear you feel today is not here to trap you, but to guide you? What if every tremble, every doubt, every shadow is pointing you toward the very transformation you have prayed for? Can you see how different your life would look if you stopped running from fear and started listening to its message? This is urgent, because every time you obey fear, you shrink. Every time you avoid the unknown, you collapse back into the same reality. And life will keep repeating until you answer the call, until you stop seeing fear as a curse and start seeing it as the compass. But you do not have to wait. You do not have to delay. The doorway is open right now, and the choice is yours. If you are ready to shatter the darkness, if you are ready to step into the light that has always been waiting for you, take action this moment. Hit the like button now and declare with power, I choose the light. Do not just say it, feel it. Let it echo inside you. That act is not small, It is the first signal you send into the field that you will no longer bow to fear. Imagine this with me. What would happen if you lived as though fear was the key instead of the chain? What doors would open? What hidden strength would rise? What new life would begin to unfold? So here is the question you must carry forward. What if fear does not bind you at all? What if it is the very key that unlocks your greatest strength? In the next step, we will uncover how the brain itself can be rewired, how old habits can be broken, and how new pathways of power can be built inside you. Your brain can change, and when the brain changes, life changes. Do you realize what that means? The prison you think you are in is not made of walls. It is made of pathways in your mind, patterns of thought, loops of habit, circuits wired long ago that repeat themselves day after day. But those circuits are not permanent. They are not chains. They are clay. And clay can be reshaped. For too long, you have been told that you are fixed, that who you are today is who you will always be, that your habits define you, that your personality is locked in. But neuroscience has shattered this lie. Neuroplasticity has proven that your brain is not static. It is dynamic. It rewires itself every single day in response to your focus, your choices, your practice. Every time you repeat an action, every time you repeat a thought, you strengthen a connection. And every time you choose something new, you carve a new path. Think about the implications. You are not trapped in old patterns because they are unbreakable. You are trapped because you repeat them. The moment you interrupt the pattern, the moment you act differently, the brain begins to lay down a new track. The old road weakens. The new road grows stronger. And soon what once felt impossible becomes automatic. This is not abstract theory. This is lived reality. In Silicon Valley, a young engineer was drowning in stress. The pressure of deadlines, the weight of expectations, the endless grind left him anxious and burned out. Every morning he woke with dread, reaching for his phone, filling his mind with chaos before the day began. And then he made a choice. A simple choice. He created a morning ritual. Instead of starting with noise, he started with silence. Instead of reacting to the world, he sat with his breath. He wrote down his vision. He moved his body. He practiced gratitude. At first, it felt awkward. At first, the old patterns fought back. But with each repetition, the ritual became easier. His brain began to change. Stress no longer controlled him. Creativity flowed. Ideas came. His career shifted. His relationships improved. One new ritual rewired his entire life. Not because the world around him changed, but because his brain changed. So I ask you, how many patterns in your life are nothing more than grooves worn deep by repetition? How many limits have you mistaken for destiny, when in truth they are only habits? And how much longer will you live inside the lie that you cannot change? The truth is simple. If the brain can rewire, then you can rewire. If the brain can adapt, then you can evolve. If the brain can create new connections, then you can create a new self. The only question is whether you will do it. But there is urgency. Every day you repeat the old pattern, you make it stronger. Every time you indulge the same fear, the same doubt, the same delay, you carve the old path deeper. And life will keep running on those rails until you decide to break them down. So here is your call to action. Interrupt the program now. Declare it publicly so your subconscious cannot hide. Comment right now. One habit you are ready to break. That single action is the first step in rewiring your brain. That single declaration is the moment the clay begins to take a new shape. Can you feel the power of this? Can you sense that the walls of your life are not made of stone, but of pathways in the mind? And that with your decision, with your practice, with your persistence, Those walls can crumble and be rebuilt into something entirely new. Remember, you are not fixed. You are fluid. You are not chained. You are moldable. Your brain is plastic, alive, waiting for your command dot. So the question you must face is this: if the brain can be rewired, why would you ever believe your life is locked in place? In the next step, we will uncover a deeper force. A force that proves belief itself can heal the body and transform reality. The placebo effect. Proof that your mind is more powerful than you have ever been told. Just by believing, your body has already begun to heal. Let those words shake you awake. Healing does not always begin with medicine. Healing does not always begin with treatment. Healing begins the moment your mind accepts the possibility of it. Your body listens to your belief. Your cells respond to your conviction. Your biology bends to the story you hold. As true science has proven this in ways that defy logic. The placebo effect. A sugar pill. A harmless injection. A treatment with no active ingredient. And yet, when the patient believes, the body responds. Pain vanishes. Symptoms fade. Healing begins. Clinical studies show that this effect can be as powerful as 50% of the real drug. Belief alone can activate the chemistry of transformation. Do you see what that means? Your body is not only a machine of flesh, it is a mirror of your mind. When the mind believes in sickness, the body follows. When the mind believes in healing, the body obeys. There is a story that still astonishes doctors. In Chicago, a man was given a substance he was told was a breakthrough cancer drug. He believed with every fiber of his being. His symptoms improved dramatically. Tumors shrank. His energy returned. But later, when he learned the drug was nothing but a placebo, his condition returned. The only thing that had changed was his belief. And when his faith dissolved, so did his healing. You must ask yourself now, what stories are you carrying in your mind that your body is obeying? How many times have you accepted a diagnosis as a life sentence? How many times have you told yourself you are weak, broken, hopeless? And how many times has your body simply followed the script? But here is the revelation. If belief can make you sick, belief can make you well. If fear can break the body, faith can restore it. Your mind is not a prisoner of biology. Your biology is a servant of your mind, Doc. So I ask you directly, what if you stopped feeding your body with doubt and started feeding it with conviction? What if you spoke healing into your cells? What if you declared with unshakable certainty that strength, energy, and vitality are already yours? Do you see how your life could transform, God? This is urgent. Because every day you reinforce the old belief, your body keeps following it. Every day you declare weakness, you collapse more of it into your reality. But the moment you choose a new belief, the moment you decide to trust in your own power, the process of healing begins. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. And this is where you act. Type these words in the comments. I believe in my power. Do not just type them. Feel them. Let them echo inside your subconscious. That single declaration is the seed. The body will listen. The cells will respond. The field will adjust. Remember, this is not just about health. This is about your entire life. If belief can heal the body, then belief can heal relationships, finances, destiny itself. Belief is the code that writes your reality. So I leave you with this question. If belief has the power to heal your body, could it not also heal your entire life? In the next step, we will go even deeper into how your genes themselves are not a prison, but a canvas, waiting for your mind to paint a new story upon them. You are not locked by your genes. You are the musician rewriting the symphony of your DNA. Let that truth strike you. For generations, people have lived under the shadow of genetic destiny. They were told their DNA was a life sentence, that if illness ran in the family, it would run into them, that if weakness lived in their bloodline, it would define their future. But science has now revealed the shocking truth. You are not a victim of your genes. You are the composer. You hold the baton, and the music of your DNA plays according to the signals you send. This is the revelation of epigenetics. Your environment, your thoughts, your emotions act like hands on the switches of your genes. They turn them on. They turn them off. They decide which notes play and which notes stay silent. The DNA itself does not change. The song it performs does. And you are the conductor of that performance. Think about the power this gives you. How many times have you said, "It runs in my family"? How many times have you accepted sickness, struggle, limitation as destiny? That belief has been chaining you. But the truth is different. Your genes are not your jailer. They are your instrument. And when you change the way you live, when you change the way you feel, when you change the way you think, you change the way your DNA expresses itself. Let me share a story. In Colorado, there was an athlete who faced what seemed like an impossible sentence. His family history carried a genetic condition that doctors said would end his career. He could have given in. He could have surrendered to the idea that his bloodline was his destiny. But he refused. He trained differently. He changed his diet. He mastered his mindset. He practiced meditation. He filled his body with gratitude instead of fear. And something extraordinary happened. The genes that were supposed to silence his career did not. He kept playing. He kept competing at the highest level. He proved that genetics may load the gun, but environment, belief, and choice hold the trigger. So ask yourself now, what symphony is your DNA playing today? Is it playing the song of fear, of sickness, of defeat? Or will you choose to change the score? Will you choose to rewrite the melody with thoughts of strength, habits of resilience, emotions of joy? Do not underestimate this. Every thought you carry is information. Every emotion you repeat is instruction. And your DNA listens. Your cells listen. Your body bends to the signal. That is why living in stress shuts down healing. That is why living in hope activates growth. That is why gratitude can literally change the way your genes behave. And here is the urgency. Every day you accept the lie of genetic destiny, you hand away your power. Every day you say, "This is just who I am," you reinforce the old song. But the moment you declare, "I am not limited by my genes," you begin to compose a new reality. So act now. Do not wait. Hit the like button and comment these words. I am not limited by my genes. Feel the weight of that declaration. Let it echo inside you. That choice is not just symbolic. It is energetic. It is biological. It is the signal your DNA has been waiting to hear. Remember, you are not the prisoner of your ancestry. You are the author of your destiny. You are not stuck with the song that was handed to you. You are the musician rewriting the melody of your life. So I leave you with this question. If your DNA is just the instrument, are you ready to pick up the baton and compose the masterpiece of your own existence? In the next step, we will uncover the ultimate secret, how the very story you tell yourself becomes the code that writes your reality. Story can change an entire destiny. Let that truth echo inside you. Your life is not just a series of events. It is the story you tell yourself about those events. And that story has been shaping your beliefs, your emotions, your choices, your future. But here is the secret. Stories are not fixed. They can be rewritten. And when you rewrite the story, you rewire the subconscious. You reprogram the operating system of your life. How many times have you told yourself the same painful narrative? I am not enough. I always fail. Nothing works out for me. Each time you repeat that story, your subconscious takes it as truth, and your brain begins to shape reality to match it. Because neuroscience has revealed something powerful. The brain does not distinguish between a lived experience and a vividly imagined one. Both create the same neural connections. Both carve the same pathways. That means the story you imagine can be just as powerful as the story you lived. This is why rewriting your narrative is not fantasy. It is biology. When you relive the past in the same way, you reinforce old circuits. But when you imagine it differently, when you tell it from the perspective of strength, resilience, and victory, you lay down new wiring. You program the subconscious to expect a different outcome in the future. Let me share a story. In Los Angeles, a writer carried deep wounds from his past: rejection, failure, abuse. For years, he lived inside that pain. Every attempt to move forward collapsed because his inner narrative whispered that he was broken. But then he made a choice. Instead of running from his story, he picked up his pen and rewrote it. He reframed his life as the journey of a hero. The struggles became trials. The losses became lessons. The wounds became fuel for transformation. And as he wrote, something shifted. His brain responded. His emotions lifted. His future changed. He went on to publish his work, inspire others, and heal the very pain that once defined him. The only thing that changed was the story he chose to tell. So I ask you now, what is the story you are telling yourself every day? Is it the story of defeat? Or is it the story of resilience? Is it the story of being cursed? Or is it the story of being chosen? Because the story you repeat becomes the reality you live. Do you see the urgency of this? Every day you rehearse the old story, you strengthen it. Every time you tell yourself the same lie of limitation, you carve the pathway deeper. But the moment you tell a new story, the moment you declare a new meaning, your subconscious listens. And reality begins to bend. So take action now. Share it publicly so your subconscious knows you are serious. Write in the comments these words: I am rewriting my story. Feel the weight of that declaration. Let it become your first chapter in a new book. This is not small. This is the most powerful choice you can make. Because once you change the story, you change the self. And once you change the self, you change the world you live in. So here is the question that demands your answer. If one story has the power to change everything, will you continue to repeat the old one? Or will you finally write the story that leads to the future you deserve? If one story can reshape your destiny, are you ready to write it now? In the next step, we will explore the power of rituals, the anchors that keep your new frequency alive, and how to turn your rewritten story into your lived reality. True power is not found in explosive moments. It is found in the rituals you repeat every single day. Let that truth cut deep. Transformation is not about a single breakthrough. It is not about a sudden flash of inspiration that changes everything overnight. Real transformation is built in the quiet, consistent acts you perform when no one is watching. The rituals that anchor your frequency. The habits that shape your identity. The choices that compound into destiny. You already know this at some level. How many times have you experienced a burst of motivation, a wave of energy, a fire that burned bright for a moment but quickly faded? Why? Because without ritual, energy leaks. Without ritual, intention dissolves. Without ritual, you fall back into the old program. Neuroscience explains this with precision. Repetition rewires the brain. Each time you repeat an action, you strengthen synaptic connections. You carve new pathways until the act becomes automatic, until the new frequency becomes second nature. This is why rituals are not just habits. They are anchors. They hold you steady in the vibration you choose. They keep you aligned when the world tries to pull you back. Consider this story. In Seattle, a stressed entrepreneur was drowning in chaos. Deadlines, burnout, constant pressure. He lived in a storm of anxiety. But instead of chasing bigger solutions, he created a simple ritual. Each morning, before the noise of the world, he sat in silence. He meditated. He wrote down his vision. He stepped into nature and breathed. At first, it seemed small. At first, it felt insignificant. But over time, the ritual rewired him. Stress no longer consumed him. Creativity flowed through him. Solutions appeared. His business grew. His relationships thrived. The ritual became the anchor that turned his life around. So I ask you now, what rituals are you living by? What anchors are holding your frequency? Or are you drifting through each day without intention, hoping change will come on its own? Because it will not. Change does not arrive by accident. Change arrives by ritual. This is the urgency. Every day you live without ritual, you reinforce the old pattern. Every day you fail to anchor the new frequency, you slide back into the past. But the moment you choose a ritual, the moment you repeat it, you begin to shape the brain, the body, the spirit into a new identity. Do not underestimate this. A ritual is not small. A ritual is not trivial. A ritual is the signal you send every morning to the universe, declaring who you are becoming. And the universe responds. So take action now. Choose one ritual today. Declare it so your subconscious knows you mean it. Comment these words right now. I choose this ritual. Let that comment be your promise. Let it be your anchor. Can you feel the power in this? Can you sense how one small act repeated becomes unstoppable? This is how destinies are rewritten, not in sudden explosions, but in steady rituals that build unshakable power. Remember, true strength is not in what you do once. True strength is in what you embody every day. The ritual is the foundation. The ritual is the anchor. The ritual is the key. So I leave you with this question. If you could design a ritual that locks in your highest frequency, how would your entire life transform? In the next step, we will go beyond the personal. We will uncover how when many people shift together, a movement begins, and reality itself bends to the collective signal. Consciousness is the creator. The truth has been revealed. The power has always been inside you. And now you know it. The only question that remains is whether you will act in this moment. For too long, you may have felt alone on this path, fighting your battles, facing your fears, trying to break free from the old patterns while the world around you seemed asleep. But hear this, you are not alone. You were never meant to do this alone. When individuals awaken, they create ripples. But when communities awaken together, they create waves. Waves strong enough to reshape reality itself. Science has already shown us the proof. In Washington, D.C., researchers gathered thousands of people to meditate at the same time. The city was drowning in crime. Violence filled the streets. And yet, during the weeks of collective meditation, crime rates dropped significantly. Law enforcement could not explain it. Politicians could not explain it. But the field explains it. Consciousness is not isolated. It is shared. And when enough people align, the entire environment bends. Do you understand what this means? Your awakening is not just about you. Your shift is not just personal. When you change, the world changes. When you lift your frequency, you help lift the frequency of everyone around you. You are part of a movement of creators, a movement of conscious beings rewriting reality together. This is why your action is so urgent. Every moment you delay, the old world strengthens. But every moment you act, you add to the wave. Every declaration, every ritual, Every choice becomes part of the collective signal. And that signal is powerful enough to change history. So here is your invitation. Write it down now so your subconscious and the universe both hear you clearly. Comment these words. I commit to action. Do not hesitate. Do not wait. That single declaration is the spark. The field will respond, and you will watch doors open you never thought possible, and then take the next step. Do not keep this truth for yourself. Share it, spread it, invite others into the movement. Like this video right now. Save it. Send it to someone you love. Because every time you share, you extend the ripple. And when enough ripples collide, they form a tidal wave of transformation. Remember, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than me. This is about us. A collective force of awakened minds, creating a new reality together. And the world desperately needs it now. So I thank you. Out of millions of videos you could have chosen, you chose this one. That is not an accident. That is alignment. That is the field bringing you here, because you are part of this movement. Because you are needed. Help us grow this wave. Leave your comments. Share your insights. Tell us your story. Your words are not just feedback. They are fuel. They are the energy that helps this channel spread light further and faster. So once again, take action. Like this video. Share it. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss the next step in this journey. Because each video is not entertainment. Each video is a key, a tool, a call to awaken deeper and rise higher. And now I leave you with the question that echoes into the future. If you could be part of a movement powerful enough to shift the world, would you choose to join it? Or will you stand on the sidelines while others write the story of tomorrow? The choice is yours. The time is now.